Dominant fantasy baseball scoring. In this article, I will help you with a step-by-step summary about how many points you need to win your fantasy baseball league. The first step is figuring out how many points won your particular fantasy baseball league last year, and figure out the most important rules for your league this year. This means the type of categories your league uses and how many of the scoring categories you need to win in order to win your total league. If your league is using hits, you need to know how many hits you have from last year in order to get your total amount of hits this year. For example, in a 5x5 league, which has 10 teams, you have to find out how many hits you need for the whole season in order to win the league, and in particular that category. So say if you come in first place, you'll receive 10 points in a 10-person league. 1 point for each person. So, you will need to find out what categories your league is and how many categories you need to win in order to win that league. Once you establish how many points you need to win each necessary category, you can start looking at the players you will need to help in order to win each category. However, this is a slippery slope. Because you want to make sure your team is balanced. You don't want to be lacking in any one category. This is the key to having a good fantasy baseball team. If you were to only look at, let's say, pitcher strikeouts and ignore the rest of the stats, then you may find yourself with a team that has a very high earned run average. Because your pitchers might come in first in the strikeouts category, but they might all give up home runs or walks or something like that. This is something that you have to be very careful about when you're doing your draft. Let's look at another situation that might help you when we look at the problem of being unbalanced. So if the team you draft is heavy in home runs, meaning that you will most likely come in first place for that category, you may need to look at a player that is specialized in stolen bases to help stabilize your team. Just make sure your team is not lacking in any one particular category. These are strategies that I have learned over the past few years playing fantasy baseball and tweaking my fantasy teams in order to help me maximize my strategy in each category. Well, that's it for today, and I'll be looking